Hello my beautiful boring people, my name is Victoria and I want to talk about the N.E.W.T. reading challenge. And I'm probably a year or more late to this, but I don't care because I love Harry Potter and I want to do this reading challenge. So there, that's my explanation. Let's get into what I'm reading. So because I am an overachieving Gryffindor, I am going for outstandings in all categories, and I reserve the right to add more to this if I get through all of my materials before the 31 days are up. Typically this is supposed to be done during the month of August, but one of my library books that I had reserved for this challenge is due back sooner than I thought I could read it, so I started it a little bit early because it's due back in early August, and I'm just gonna stick to the 31 day thing. Ta-da! Oh, and if you want to follow along in this tag or readathon or whatever it actually is, because I'm new to booktube and getting used to my terms, I think it's a readathon. N.E.W.T.s Readathon. There you go. Anyways, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description for how I found out about it, and that link links back to what I think are the original sources for this. So there you go. Now on to the content. I'm going for N.E.W.T.s in Ancient Ruins, which is a book translated from another language. So I'm going to go for Tokyo Ghoul, R.E., or Re, Tokyo Ghoul Re, and this is volume 11. I'm still waiting on volume 10 to come into my library. Either way, I'm gonna fill it with a manga for this one. So to get an O in arithmancy, you have to read a book that is not first in a series, and I am choosing King of Thorns because that's what I'm buddy reading right now with Starla Reads, and it is the second book in the series by Mark Lawrence. I wasn't super impressed with Prince of Thorns. It wasn't quite my jam. It had some interesting things going on towards the end though, so I really wanted to continue reading the series to see if I would end up liking it for its second and third books. But we shall see. To get my outstanding in astronomy, I will be reading a book whose story is set in a different planet or world, and for this I choose A Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. This could technically count for the previous challenge as well, since this is also the second book in a series, which this one is the Kingkiller Chronicles. I don't know why I always add an S to the end of Chronicles. It's Chronicle. Kingkiller Chronicle by Patrick Rothfuss. Really enjoying this book so far, and I'm only 16 pages in, and it's nearly 1,000 pages. Why did I pick so many thick boys to read for this challenge? I don't know, but let's hope I get through it. For an outstanding in Care of Magical Creatures, I am to read a book that includes dragons in any way, shape, or form. There's a dragon on the cover. From what I've heard, there's dragons, dragons, and dragons in the book. We're going with Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, and I am looking forward to this. I believe this is a single high fantasy novel in between two kingdoms/queendoms, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if I like this story or not. For an outstanding in charms, I will be reading a book that I think will leave a mark, and for this I will be reading You Do You, Proud to Be Fabulous, hosted by Tan France and Nikki Levy, which I actually already completed today, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. They had some really fun stories, but I gave it 4 stars because I don't know if the commentary in between the stories seemed forced or if there just wasn't enough time left for them to truly discuss the short stories that are being put together. Anyways, it did leave a mark on me. I did enjoy it, and I do recommend it. For Defense Against the Dark Arts, the challenge for an outstanding is to read a book with dark in the title, and I will be reading The Dark Forest by Cixin Liu, or Liu Cixin. We already know that I can't pronounce this name, okay? Anyways, it's the second book in the 3-Body Problem series, and I'm hoping that I'll enjoy it a lot more than I did the 3-Body Problem. And I will be getting that as either an ebook or maybe a physical copy if it comes in on time. I literally checked out both from my library and put both on my holds list, so we'll see which comes in first. Hopefully, one of them will before the end of the month, that way I can complete this challenge. To get an outstanding in divination, I will be reading a book about myths, and we have Dollar's Book of Greek Myths that I read in 7th grade and haven't really picked up since, but I remember really enjoying it. Also, look at these illustrations. They're fun. I like it. I want to reread a picture book, okay? For Herbology or Herbology, depending on how you want to pronounce that word, the outstanding challenge is to read a book with either one of these words in the title: light, air, sun, or water. And for this, I went to my TBR list and looked at what my library had available within the time frame, and we're settling on The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, or Rick Riordan. I'm not really sure how to say his name either. Anyways, give it to me, please. It has lightning. For History of Magic, the challenge is to read a book that is over 400 pages, and for that I have Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And I'm really excited to get into this. A lot of the other booktubers that I've seen that also enjoy the same fantasies that I do have loved this duology, so I'm really excited to try it out. For Muggle Studies, I am to read a retelling, and for this I chose the audiobook of Circe because that was what was available from my library. And it sounded really interesting. It's told from Circe's point of view as a goddess, and she's going around doing her goddess things, telling her goddess story. And I might have already completed this one as well. It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars just because I don't see myself constantly rereading that. I don't tend to often reread myths. Like, how many years are in between me reading this book? It probably would have been 2006, and we're in... Yeah, I would have read this in 2006. It's 2019 now. 13 years. Don't often reread my mythology. But it was a really good retelling of mythology, so highly recommend it. If you like mythology, you're gonna love Circe. Read it. For potions, the challenge for an outstanding is to read a book that's over 350 pages long. And I have chosen Aurora Rising, just so that I could have it actually scheduled into my TBR. So yay! And finally, for Transfiguration, I am to read a book that's set in a kingdom or has royals. And for that, I chose The Crooked Kingdom because you gotta read both books in the duology, hun. At least I hope I like the duology, otherwise this is gonna be really tough. Anyways, that's what I'm really looking forward to reading in August. Let me know what you are doing in the comments below, and if you choose to follow the N.E.W.T.s and go do all those resources that are linked down in the doobly-doo, let me know as well. I'm really excited to see your journey with them. Okay, bye!